Hello YouTube, it's BirdoPrey5 and it is time for my live review of the Twilight Zone Season 1 Episode 8, Point of Origin. And if you remember last week, I made a prediction for last week's episode all about toxic masculinity, and I predicted it spot on. At the end of last week's episode, we saw the preview for this week, and it is clearly about illegal immigration. And I made some predictions. Basically, we see a white suburban housewife and her, we don't know what, her nanny or her housekeeper, clearly looked Mexican, some type of South American. She is taken away by what looks like ICE agents, and then later the white housewife is also taken, and my guess was that somehow the woman who we think is white is actually illegal herself, and she's going through the whole system. And I also think perhaps there are space aliens involved. So it's not as clear as it was last week, but I'm pretty sure that's what we're looking at today. So with that, I'm going to get started, and it's going to be a little different today. I'm actually going to do the review while it's playing for me, and you'll be able to follow along. There's a little static, but you'll be able to see it on the view screen. If you want to follow along with me, I'll be starting in a couple of seconds. Just watch along if you have CBS All Access. Otherwise, I'll describe what's going on as we go. So, hitting play now. Okay, there's music. There's okay, it's snowy. There's snowy trees. There's an ice cream van, an ice cream man in the snow in winter. I don't know where they sell ice cream in the winter. Okay, so we got the wife walking through the house. She's given directions. She's given directions to two guys following her. She's planning a party. She's telling them that she's gonna put a bar out on the patio, force people to mingle. They're agreeing with her. Okay, she just calls Anna. And now she calls Anna a second time because there's a delivery. And she sees a person. She can see who's delivering. And now she's telling these guys that they oversee everything. Okay, now the ice cream man is passing the house for the second time. Well, obviously that ice cream truck was suspicious before. It's really suspicious now. She was staring out the windows. Her eyes were doing something alien. Anna just came in and saying goodnight to her. Oh, Anna needs to ask a question. The wife asks us if everything's okay, and she says yes. Her grandson wants to go to a charter school, but her daughter doesn't live in the district. And the wife didn't even know she had a grandson. She's like, how did I not know you had a grandson? And Anna pulls out a smartphone and is showing him a picture. And Anna's asking, well, how can I help? Very nice. Oh. Now Anna, Mrs. Eve is her name. Okay, so Anna wants to use her address. Anna wants to use her address so her grandson can go to the school. And she's willing to work for free. She's willing to be a slave. And the wife says, you don't have to, you don't owe us anything. Of course you can use the address. Very, very nice of her, honestly. Very, very nice of her. And she doesn't even take her up on giving anything away for free. And she says, you're family. You don't owe us anything. that was very nice of her. But then she asked Anna to get the door. Anna says she'll get on the way out. Now the wife finally looks at her phone, and she sees federal agents at the door. She calls Anna, says, wait, I'll get the door. And it's too late. Anna's being taken away. They tell her in Spanish, hands on the head, I believe, anos la cabeza. And the wife is yelling, she'll get a lawyer. She tried to say, she said, wait, but they took her away. Okay, now the wife is having a tea party with her friends, and she's lying. She said they came in guns blazing. There were no guns. And she said that she told them, you can't do this, blah, blah, blah. And no, obviously she didn't say any of that, but whatever. Now one of her friends is saying, well, these people know the risks, when they come here illegally. And she's right. They do. Okay, she's saying they don't know who took Anna, that Bill, I guess the husband, hired an attorney. They can't find her. They don't know where she is. Now they're all talking about their illegal help. One of them wanted health insurance, and they said, oh, you can't, even legals can't get health insurance. What are you, stupid? And then the other one said, oh, mine wanted to pay taxes. Real Americans don't pay taxes. They try to stop paying taxes. Don't they realize how stupid they look? Oh my God. This is ridiculous. Okay, so the wife's asleep. She's having a dream, I guess. Now it's the next morning, and the kids are asking if they could have plantains for breakfast. It's what they eat. It's what Anna would give them, I guess. Instead, they're getting Cocoa Puffs. They're asking when Anna will be back, and the father says, oh, Anna had to go home to visit her family. The kid said, but we're her family. He's like, she has her own family. The wife is genuinely worried about Anna. Okay. And they tell the kids tomorrow is the next school, is the party. So now the mother took the kids out somewhere, and the mother parks across two spots, and the kids call her out on it and says, Anna hates when people park across two spots. Everybody hates when people park across two spots. And now the kid wants $1 for Otto. The kid wanted $1 for Otto. The mother thought she said Lotto. And they're like, no, Otto. He's always here playing guitar. So Otto's like the neighborhood bum. Okay, so they're online. They're asking if she has a rewards card. She doesn't know. She's never gone shopping before, apparently. The kid has the number of the rewards memorized. She bought $356 in change and food, and she hands the credit card to the teller, and the teller points to the credit card device because this woman hasn't been shopping in 20 years. There's a problem with the card. A card was declined. That's crazy, she's saying, of course. And there, people online are getting angry. They're like, what's going on? What's the holdup? Because, of course, that's what people say. So she changes to a different credit card, and that's going to be declined, I bet. Yep, and that's declined. The cashier's like, yep, that one's declined too. This guy's like, come on, Jesus. The lady said there's something wrong, and the guy said there's something wrong with you. That was hilarious. Now people are yelling from the back of the line. She just said, keep your goddamn groceries. And she's storming out of the place. And now she's got the kids. The kids are saying, are we going to get in trouble for leaving the groceries? And someone put a note on her car about taking up the two spots. It wasn't very nice, but you know what? Totally deserved. And now 2 SUVs pulled up behind her, and these are got to be the government agents coming for her. She's saying, "Excuse me, I'm trying to get out." Oh, there's a picture of the family, and it doesn't have Anna on it. Big shock. Oh, they're being very nice. They're saying, "Good afternoon. Are you Eve Martin? Please come with me." "You have the wrong person," she says. And they're saying, "It's all right, Mrs. Martin. For safety's sake, your kids are going to be transported to the facility in a different car." And he's saying, "This is a matter of national security." And here's Jordan Peele to tell us about Meet Eve Martin. And she was raised to view the world through a bubble of comfort, safety, and privilege. And her bubble is about to burst. The white privilege bubble has burst. That is what he said. And it was definitely clear for us to see that if Anna was truly part of the family, she would have had a sticker on the back of the Range Rover, right? You're not truly a member of someone's family until they put your sticker on the back of their SUV. That's the lesson here, people. So we've entered the Twilight Zone. Point of origin. Eve is walking around in her pretty blue shoes. Clearly doesn't belong. Lots of people all stuffed into this area. They're not all Mexican, South American, Hispanic, Latino. There's seemingly a race, a mix of people. In fact, everybody I'm seeing so far looked white. I think I saw one light-skinned African American woman. And here's her husband came running up, and Eve is asking if he's seen the kids. He said no, they're being held separately. And she's like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "I don't know. They showed up and took me from work." They found a bench even though this was crowded. And Eve is asking if we need an attorney. He said, "I called an attorney just in case." And Eve said her credit cards were declined. And the husband's like, "Oh, that must be it. It was identity theft. Somebody packed your credit cards and now they think you're a terrorist." And now Eve is confessing that she told Anna she could use the address for her grandson's school. Could that be what's said? No, Eve, you're not an idiot. That's not what this is about. The husband seeming calm and rational, that this is just a mix-up. We'll see somebody that we can explain it, and we'll all leave. This will be over with, and it'll just be a good story. So don't worry, don't panic. Maybe tell her not to confess any crimes to anybody, because I would say that's something that could go unsaid, except she seems like she's not the smartest cookie. Okay, so they just called them in after some period of time. They're calling them into this very big, although it's dark, somehow it's dark with 3 big bright windows, but a very big room for a government office. And a guy comes in with a thick British accent. He's like, "Sorry, seems like there's always more work to do than people to do it." And he's telling them about their jobs, their ages, I think. Oh, they've been married 6 years, but the daughters are 8 years old. The husband asks if they need an attorney. The guy says this isn't really an attorney thing. And the husband says, "This is America. Everything's an attorney thing." "Oh, Eve, shut up, Eve. Eve is saying, does this have anything to do with Matheson Charter School? And the guy's like, you tell me. And the husband, now Eve is confessing to telling the housekeeper she could use their address. Oh, and now she's saying if this requires a donation to Matheson or a donation to whoever. Oh, she's basically saying if she needs to bribe somebody, we can do this. And the guy's like, are you suggesting a financial? And he's saying, oh, this has nothing to do with Miss Swentis at all. And she says, you have a right to know. She says she has a right to know why they're there. And he says, well, best not to discuss it in front of the children. And the kids just came back in. They're seeming okay. The ones with each parent. He's apologizing. He's like, inefficiency. It's the problem with government these days. There was no reason to drag all of you, and that means that that means she can't leave. He emphasized all. Yeah, you misunderstood. William, Jackie, and Isabel, the kids, will be released momentarily, but Eve has to stay for further evaluation. And the husband saying, I'm going to get a lawyer, and we'll get this sorted out. This guy says, Eve, it's in her best interest not to resist, and that let her let go of her daughter's hand for some reason. Okay, so Eve just had a thumbprint that for some reason hurt her finger. And now she is signing a document that she didn't read because she's an idiot, I suppose. And now she's standing in front of a wall to get her picture taken, like a mug shot. Of course, anyone over 6'2" cannot have their mug shot taken because that's as tall as it goes. And now this woman actually thinks they're about to let her go. And this guy handed her like a jumpsuit to change into. So it's only now hitting her that it's only now hitting her that this is serious. And now the guy she just walked past was the guy who was playing the guitar at the supermarket. So this guy has a job. He's a janitor, apparently. I guess the playing the guitar in the parking lot is just supplemental income. Okay, so she's in a holding cell. Not a holding cell, a holding room. I mean, dozens and dozens of people around. She's walking. Apparently she's free to walk around. She's walking into a different room with dozens and dozens of people. They seem to be of various races, so this is not that she's Hispanic or something. She's not 1/124 Hispanic. Oh, there's Anna. Anna is standing there, and she says, Mrs. Eve. She recognizes Mrs. Eve. She comes over, and they hug. And Eve, Eve apologizes to Anna, says, I'm so sorry. I didn't know they would take you to a place like this. And Anna says, yes, you did. You knew they would take me to a place like this. What did you think they were going to do? They would take us to the Four Seasons? And Eve says, I thought they would deport you back to Mexico. Oh my God. Anna's gone totally psycho on her. She's like, you knew this would happen. Because obviously Anna called the Anna is saying all the things she's done for her family. She raised her kids. She helped them when they were sick. She wiped the poop from their butts. She's like, I know. She's like, do you even know my kids' names? And she's like, a family would know their names. Because Eve said, you're part of the family. And now Eve is apologizing to Anna for what? Why are you apologizing to this woman? For employing her? Eve is saying she knows why she's here. She's known for some time that they came from the same place. And Eve says, I know you tried to help Daniel, so I will help you. And she tells her to follow her. I'm still crazy what Eve is saying about her. Wait, so Eve, is she from the same place as you, or is she a bad person? Because, oh, and there's a door, it's a bathroom. There's a bathroom. Okay, they have a fairly private bathroom. This is a bathroom like you'd find in a a mall or something. Luckily, even though there's 500 women out there, only 1 or 2 were in the bathroom and they left. And now there's an open gate in the bathroom that goes to, I don't know, a utility closet? Oh no, a fake wall! A fake wall. And Anna, who's been there for what? 6 hours, 12 hours maybe? A day? Anna knows about this fake wall, which says sink on it, by the way. There is a sink on the fake wall. So either the sink doesn't work, or it's hooked up by elastic pipes. And Anna just sent Eve down this massive hallway that's behind this fake wall. And Anna didn't go with her. And now there's a guy behind her. Oh, it's Otto. It's the janitor / guitar player from the parking lot. Otto. Okay, well, at least you remembered his name. And Otto says, if you want to know why you're here, you've got to come with me now. Now, you might be there to be raped, because this is what they're setting it up for. I'm just saying, be careful. What the hell are you talking about? Otto just said you don't trust me only because I don't look like you. Otto seems to be a white guy. What does he not look like? That he's not a woman? I don't know. He's a white guy with a beard. Who? What? That doesn't even make sense. I don't trust you because you're a shady looking character who was begging for money this morning. Oh, now it's people like us. So now she is like you. Okay, Otto's saying there's some woman she's got to talk to. There's a woman standing, and she's like, she's going to sound like she's speaking English, but she's not. Only we can understand her. Only people like us. So this is the aliens. This is the space aliens. This woman is saying, it's so good to see you, Eve. I see you don't remember who you are. You're not alone. So many of us were left behind. Afraid to see if a blue sky was possible instead of the gray sky. And now Eve is asking Otto, what is she talking about? He says, you need to listen. And this older woman says, we thought the young would never need to know where they came from. That we could just fit in. And she's saying that we thought we'd fit in, but now they're rounding us up. Oh, and now she's like, this is our home now. Oh, she's saying we add to our home. This is the classic, we're already here. This place is ours now, not just theirs. So this is like as if she was an immigrant, an illegal immigrant, mind you. Okay, now the guards came in. Otto jumped behind a wall. Oh, now this woman is yelling, "It's ours, not theirs." So what about it being belonging to everybody? Oh, it doesn't. It only belongs to them, not to the people who are already here. I gotta say, I don't have any sympathy for that woman. So now they've got Eve strapped down to a table on a gyroscope or something. And they're saying that the straps are for her safety. It's the British guy from before. He's saying they're evaluating her. Just need her to answer a few questions. And now Eve gets a spine. She says, "No, you haven't answered any of mine." Of course, Eve, you're not really in a position to argue. As much as I admire your newfound courage. Oh, basically, this other woman was telling Eve she can't let them access her memories. If they access her memories, then they'll know what's going on. So, okay, he's asking her true or false. The dimension in which we exist is one of an infinite number of dimensional realities. And she answered, "I don't know." And he said, "It's true or false. If I don't know, I would have offered it." He's forcing her to answer. She's like, "I have no idea. I'm not a physicist." And he's like, "You gotta answer, true or false." And she's like, "True." That was probably the wrong answer. What the hell is he talking about? He's talking about high-level quantum physics, quantum mechanics. He's asking her about if it's possible to slip through dimensions that are just nanometers away. Basically, he's talking about a multiverse. So maybe they're not aliens. Maybe they're just from another dimension. This is Man in the High Castle. This is Man in the High Castle. They're coming from other realities. That's what's happening. She's from an Earth where there must have been a nuclear war or something. She doesn't know. Okay, he's saying 5 years ago this dimension was infiltrated by a neighboring dimension. And that 30 years ago, a caravan, ding, 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 caravan. Yeah, we're on illegal immigration here. So 30 years ago, the first caravan came, and basically people are trying to leave that other dimension to come to this dimension because the sky is blue in our dimension. In their dimension, it's post-apocalyptic. The sky is gray all the time. He's calling the other dimension a lesser dimension, like a lesser country. Oh, they're diluting the natural evolution of this dimension, which would kind of be true. He's saying that she's in an apparatus that can basically read her memory. She's a suspected pilgrim. And they got to determine her true point of origin. And he's asking, what would you say if we could read your memory? And she's like, I don't think you'd want to hear what I have to say. He's like, this will just be like playing video games with your children. Close your eyes and relax. That is not how one plays video games. And now she's being tortured. She is screaming like crazy. They plugged something into her back before. She's screaming. Yeah, that is not how anybody plays video games. Closing their eyes and relax. Okay, she's waking up in the hospital. They're saying she had a seizure. A nice doctor is saying, I wish there was a less dangerous method of confirming. And He's saying, please give deepest apologies to the husband and the kids for any undue stress. She asks, can I go? He says, yes. Test came back negative conclusively, and the husband is filling out the discharge paperwork. Okay, well, obviously this is fake, because this has got to be induced, because we know conclusively she isn't from this dimension, because the other woman knew she wasn't. Okay, so they wheelchair her halfway down the hallway, and she runs to her husband, who's got flowers. Oh, how nice. And the husband takes her home, and let me guess, the husband's going to ask her what happened, and she's going to confess something to him, and then she's going to realize that she's still strapped to the bed or something. Yeah, come on, confess to the husband. I was strapped to that thing. She just wanted to be home. She made it back home. He's saying it's going to be okay. You're here. Is he going to try to get the confession out of her? She's like, you don't get it. Oh, that's not a good start. Tell me. I'm listening. They're listening. What? They showed her things. They showed her this other place. And they'd be able to tell if she remembered being there. Oh, she's been having a recurring nightmare. Something the husband knows about. A little girl that looked like her, and it was her nightmare. They showed her nightmare. How could they do that? How could they have known that that's what she was dreaming? And there you go, Eve. Eve is saying, you know when you've had that feeling when you see or smell something from the past, and it makes you excited or afraid, it's intense? And she's saying, when I look at the sky, I feel that. It's like I'm on the brink of recalling a memory. Okay, well, I think you're pretty much... What if it wasn't a dream? What if I'm from another dimension? That's it. She's saying that she was there. Now the husband is talking with the British guy's voice. Yeah, that's it. She's still on the table. She's still in the whole thing. And that's basically like, you just confirmed. You just confirmed where you're from. And now we see Eve screaming as a child, as a teenager, as an adult, how terrible whatever place she came from was. And I don't know, there's an alarm going off. I guess she's back in general population. She's shaking like crazy. I don't know. She something. Can't even follow what's going on. Is she still? No, she's not. She's in a room. She's in a holding room. The biggest holding room I've ever seen. A mail slot or a food slot opened. She's asking who's there. She's crawling over to the food slot. Oh, it's a guy's voice. She's thinking it's Otto. Way to give up somebody. Oh, it's somebody else. He's saying, they're saying you have money. I can get you out if you pay. She's like, yes, I'll pay. Once I get home, you can have whatever you want once I get home. Maybe he doesn't want money. No, he said that you have money. She's like, or go to my husband. She said, I don't know how this works. I've never done this before. It's kind of cute. Late tonight, he says. Late tonight, I don't know what time. Just be ready. She says, wait. Oh, come on. Don't tell me you're going to pull Anna in. She's saying that he has to get Ana Fuentes too. He's saying, no, just her. Eve is saying she can't leave her in here. She has children, please. Wow, Eve is going out of her way to try and get Anna rescued. I gotta say, after the way Anna sounded a few minutes ago, I don't know that I would. Anyway, is it nighttime, or did this guy just walk in? I didn't notice any time pass. This guy came in and he's got a garbage bin, and it's not it's dead bodies. She's got to get in a bin full of dead bodies that's covered in plastic wrap for some reason. I guess they use plastic wrap to keep the dead bodies safe. Okay, so she gets on top of the dead bodies. He puts the bubble wrap over the bodies. He closes the door and he's walking down. It is nighttime. There's searchlights coming through the window. He's walking down a hallway, a poorly lit hallway. And there, she's just in there, and now a woman comes out, a guard. Oh, two guards. It's like, what are you doing down here? He's like, oh, there was this big infection and prisoners are dying left and right. Don't go down there. It's terrible. And they're like, this is a bit suspicious. He's not supposed to be here. So the woman pulls back the plastic, looking at the bodies, and Eve is face down, so doesn't look like she's alive. And the woman goes to touch her, and of course the guy stops her from touching her and says, hey, if you're going to touch them, at least put gloves on. They all died shitting blood. And you know what? I don't think there's been an F word this episode. I think we've gone the farthest into an episode. We're 36 minutes into a 43-minute episode. I don't think there's been an F-bomb. We just got the word shit, which isn't that bad. Hey, Twilight Zone, good for you. Well, they made it through that. And Eve got out of the... and why... They've gone to general population where Anna was, and everybody in general population is face down on the floor, except for Anna. Anna got up. So, like, nobody else knows what's going on. Nobody else seeing this. Anyway, the guy gave him directions to go to the same door that they went down before. And he's given them the code for a door. 1015. Hey, the same flight number from episode 2, Terror at 30,000 feet, but who's remembering? So 1015, and the plan is to get outside the door, and I quote, run like a mother effer. There it is, we had our F-bomb. So he cut a hole in the fence. Avoid the searchlights. Thank you. So basically the plan is get out the door, run like crazy, avoid the searchlights. He cut a hole in the fence by a tree that's shaped like a Y, because of course they're going to know which tree that is. And then run to the main road, and there's going to be a car there, but of course there's no car. There's no car. So you know what? Start running. The driver will be there. They'll do a bed count first thing in the morning, so you better hurry. Okay, well, they're looking at the road up and down. Why nobody else followed them, I have no idea. That's the biggest mystery. And if these are all aliens or extra-dimensional people, why aren't they all being helped? And it is the ice cream man truck the ice cream man truck has come to pick them up. Oh, Anna doesn't want to come in. Anna doesn't trust them. Eve's saying we don't have a choice. And Anna is saying I don't trust him. And Eve is saying we don't have a choice. Anna's saying we always have a choice. And it is not good to take risks. That is the exact opposite. It's now morning. The ice cream truck is playing "This Land Is My Land." This land is your land. And the ice cream truck dropped her off and said good luck. And she's running to her house in her prison jumpsuit. So obviously they've already been tipped off. There we go. There's the husband and the kids. They were waiting for her. They're not running over. She's asked, did you get the message? Which is the first time there was a message. And she's like, we gotta go. Well, she wants everybody to leave with her, to run away with her. And the father's sending the kids upstairs, the daughters upstairs, because I don't know what they told them, but they're all afraid of her now. And now the husband is probably going to say, the husband's saying, why did you come back? Well, maybe because I love you and you love me. I'm pretty hot, so we should skedoodle. Oh, he said you should have ran. You should have run away. I don't know who you are. She's saying she's the same person she was. I'm the girl's mother. I'm your wife. He's saying no. You're not that person. Well, you never were. I think she was. And of course the door opens, and they're here to collect Eve. It's that they're here to pick her up. Oh, Eve says, get out of my home. And then the top guy says, no, you leave mine. Meaning, get out of my dimension. And Eve is crying, this is my home. This is my home. This is my home. And the guy looks at the husband, and the husband has one tear going down the side. And he watches as they carry Eve away, kicking and screaming. And the ice cream man passes again. And she's yelling to the ice cream man to help, like she doesn't know. And Jordan Peele comes on. We're all immigrants from somewhere, be it another country or another dimension. No, we're not all immigrants, Jordan Peele. We are categorically not all immigrants. For Eve Martin. Oh, and he's got an ice cream cone. Jordan Peele has an ice cream cone, and he says, for Eve Martin, there is no passport to be stamped for passage out of the Twilight Zone. So, wow, this was an episode. I feel, you know what? You're right, Jordan Peele. You did it. You made me change my mind about illegal immigration. I am now for it. Let's tear down whatever part of the wall we have. Let's open the border. Let's let everyone in. You did it, Jordan. You did it. I'm feeling the burn. I'm feeling the burn, Jordan. This is all I needed. I just needed a clever television show that was going to just give me a great story and a white woman as the main character, because I can only identify with white people because I'm a racist, because all white men are racist. So thank you for giving me an attractive white woman to feel bad about. Had she been Hispanic, I could have easily dismissed her. Thank you, Jordan. You've opened my eyes. You've made me see the light. And I That's it. I can't wait. I can't wait to vote Trump out. This is it. Because clearly your immigrants in this, illegal immigrants in this episode, they had the best intentions, right? They only had the best intentions for their new reality. They didn't say, oh wait, didn't they say that this is ours, it's not theirs? They wanted to take over. They wanted to take over. It wasn't that they just wanted to come here and live in peace. They didn't say, let's share. They said when push came to shove, when they were taking away the leader who doesn't even speak English, but for reasons Anna could hear it. So you know what? If this is a parallel dimension, why don't they speak English? Why did they have to say she doesn't speak English, but you'll sound like English? That made absolutely no sense. If this is a parallel dimension, they probably speak English. Okay? They just had, maybe they had World War III over there. The languages should be the same. There's no reason that because she's from another dimension, only she can understand this other woman. That's probably the crappiest piece of the science here. I mean, to say nothing about asking a woman who clearly knows nothing about quantum mechanics about, what she feels about multiple dimensions. So next week's episode, it's a gun. The Blue Scorpion. So basically I guess the guy's father died and he left him a gun, and the gun has his name on the bullet. And the gun turns this guy crazy. The gun has power. This is the first time this guy owns a gun, and now the gun makes him a crazy guy. And I guess the father killed himself, and now he finds a bullet with his name on it. So we know this episode, this guy's going to kill himself with his father's gun. And there's the body bag. Jordan Peele, thank you again. Next week, you're going to change my mind. I'm going to stop being a supporter of the Second Amendment, and I'm going to come to your side, Jordan. And I'm going to say, you know what? We need to outlaw guns, because guns themselves change people. The moment you see a gun, it infects your brain and turns you into a cold-blooded killer and or suicidal, or both. Murder-suicide, probably. Because guns are evil, and guns never solved anything except, World War II and the Civil War. Oh, but those were good wars because, we saved people on those. But the bad wars, they also had guns. So this series is kind of sickening. Okay, the series is kind of sickening. They've lost all subtleness. Okay, early Twilight Zones, original Star Trek, these types of shows, they gave us subtle hints of troubles in modern society. They didn't tackle when they wanted to talk about racism in Star Trek. They didn't go to a planet where the white people were oppressing the black people, or even the black people were oppressing the white people. No, they went to a planet where people were half white and half black, and everybody was confused as hell as to why, because everybody looked the same. And well, why are you guys hate each other? And the people took offense. They're like, why do we hate each other? Well, just look at him. And, Kirk and Spock look, and they're like, well, you seem to be the same species. And they're like, what are you talking about? The same species? He's white on the left side. I'm white on the right side. And then it hits you, and Spock and Kirk look at each other like, what the hell are they talking about? They're the same to us. And that's when you realize, that's when you have your epiphany. that we're all the same. To an alien species who comes to Earth, and they look at a white human and a black human, and they're going to see people fighting over pettiness like race. And you're like, what the hell are you talking about? You guys are both clearly the same species. And one of us will say, well, he's white. And the other one will say, well, he's black. No, okay? That's the whole point. To an alien, we're all human. And we need to act like that. Okay? And we don't need Jordan Peele coming up with these completely unsubtle episodes just to drive bigger wedges between race, gender, sex, sexual orientation, gun owners versus non-gun owners. Okay, we're all human. We're all on the same side, or we all should be. And that side should generally be that of law and order. Okay, and as much... Listen, I know there's a lot of debate over illegal immigration, okay? I have never met a Republican. I've never met someone on the far right against legal immigration. Okay? But I've met a lot of people on both sides against illegal immigration. And the media and the far left and the Jordan Peeles of the world love to mess it up. They love to talk about it like they're the same thing, but they are certainly not the same thing. No matter how much they want it to be, there is a major, major difference. And I am all for helping people build up their lives. I think we should be more proactive. I think instead of, inviting in millions and millions of more immigrants from other countries that we would call third world, that we should instead be helping these people invest in their own countries. And you know what? The ancestors here in America, the people who founded America, a lot of blood and tears went into building this country. And you know what? Some of these other countries, they have to make that sacrifice. And that sacrifice is horrible. Don't get me wrong. But if they don't want to become a state of the United States, which most of these countries don't, they want their own sovereignty, then they need to, frankly, they need to put in the time and the effort to get there. And if that means a revolution to overthrow a tyrannical government or a dictator or warlords or drug cartels, then that's what they need to do. Because you know what? The United States was not founded on peace. And we all know that, okay? The United States, a lot of blood was shed to found this country. A lot of blood was shed to keep the countries of Europe free. A lot of blood was shed for almost every country in the world except those that the British decided to just make fake lines for. But even then, these countries fight to keep their borders with blood. And I'm sorry, I'm not saying that you need to go to war, but war is a last resort, but it's a possible last resort. And it is the only long-term solution to keeping other countries, to raising them up to the level of the United States. Okay? I think too many people see, we can make everything fair if we lower the United States to the same levels of these other countries. But that doesn't help anyone. That doesn't help anyone. No, we want to raise everyone to the same standard of living or better than the United States, Europe, and the rest of the world. That's what we need to do, and that's not going to happen if we just keep letting people come in the United States, look the other way, and let them live in some subculture where they're not even they're never going to be recognized as full citizens because they aren't, and they're just going to be doing menial jobs for all of us. That is not helping anyone except, frankly, the rich, because they get cheap labor. Okay, if you really want to help them, we can help them in their own country. That is long-term a long-term plan. And this, Jordan Peele, you just don't know. This is not good, Jordan. This is not good. So, rating the twist. This wasn't a twist. There was no twist at the end. There was no Twilight Zone twist. How is this even a Twilight Zone episode? There was no twist. The twist was in the beginning, really. It was in the middle. I don't know. Was it as bad as last week's? No. Was it good? No. I'm going to have to give this a final rating of 1 of 10. 1 of 10. Which is infinitely better than 0 out of 10 that last week got, but still very, very, very bad. I did like the fact that there were alternate dimensions. They basically took the story of Man in the High Castle, which if you do have Amazon Prime Video, you want to watch Men in the High Castle. It's a great show. It's in its 3rd season. It's going to have a 4th and final season coming up. But otherwise, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time really watching this if you haven't already. I've explained it, and it is so not worth it. But I will keep fighting. I'll keep fighting every week. As long as they make this crap, I will point out the crap. And if they have the occasional good episode like Wonderkind, I will be more than happy to point that out too. Next week, it's not going to be good. I can tell. Next week is going to be about how evil we are for owning guns. Qapla, everyone. Qapla. And that means success in Klingon, because some people didn't know. Qapla! Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. If you want to visit me, check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. And if you're really crazy, you can send me some money on PayPal. Take care.